Alright everyone, so welcome back to Garage Science. So went ahead and picked myself up a MIG welder over the holidays and gonna make myself a nice welding bench. So got most of the bench already kind of constructed. I didn't film really any of that because mostly it's just repetitive welds over and over and over. But the main table is actually built. One of the biggest reasons you want to use a metal table like this is one, so there's no fire hazard, and then two, because you need a grounding clip, a grounding clamp like this. Usually you would attach this to whatever you're welding, but by using a metal table you can simply attach to the table and then weld whatever it is that's on the table. So we're going to go ahead and put a little awning over the top so I can put some welding lights in, and then I'll connect that up to the rest of the electricity in the shop. But yeah, stick around, we'll see how it goes. Alright, so not the prettiest welds ever, but what I kind of forgot to do was, after switching over to the tube steel, it's actually a smaller thickness. I think it's only 1/16 inch thick. And so what I've been doing is welding at 1/8 of an inch, so I burned through the tube steel a couple of times, but was able to build it back up with a little extra weld. So the way this is going to get hung is it's going to go up here like so, and then I'll be able to hang some lights off the top of it. So first I'm going to go ahead and weld these guys up here just to give it a little something to sit on, to rest on, and should give it a little more rigidity as well. So we're going to do that first. Alright, so there's the weld. Nothing super extravagant looking. A lot of the slag around there is because I'm using flux core wire, so eventually I'll be using argon gas, and then that'll get rid of a lot of the flux, or this, excuse me, a lot of the slag that's all over the place, unfortunately. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and tack this on too. I'm probably not going to be able to finish welding it in this set because I'm just about out of welding wire, and I'm going to have to go to the store and get some more. But we'll do what we can do. Oh. That's it. No more wire. I thought I'd get a little further than that, but anyways. Alright, so this is the reason that we're putting a hood over the welding bench. Is this filter I've got taped over the front of the AC unit. Alright, and it used to be white like 2 days ago. Like, it was virtually a new filter, and all the smoke and stuff that was produced by burning up the flux and the flux core welding wire turned this brown in like 2 days. So considering that's everything that I was breathing, I'd rather not do that. So I sealed up the shop pretty good when I hung the insulation, but because there's no real draft through the shop, I need to create one so that way I can not harm myself while I'm welding. So that's why we're doing it. Safety first. And so this is what we're going to use. It's a little booster duct fan. So I kind of thought about doing just a squirrel cage like bathroom fan, but even those are kind of bulky and a little more than what I need. So this will do 160 cubic feet per minute, which, you know, it's not a gargantuan amount, but it's nothing to sneer at either. So it should create a little bit of a draft, so that way I can have some decent ventilation for the welding bench. Alright, so I've removed the two welding lights the previous owner of this house had installed on the wall. So I'll be mounting those on the overhang. And so what they'll do is they'll want them to hang right about there and there, so that way they can shine down from both directions to make sure you have a well lit work area. So they were mounted up there at that junction box, and then up there at that junction box, so I've pulled those down. And then what I've also done is the elbow at the end of the conduit there that would run down to the 220 volt outlet for the welder, I've replaced that with another junction box and ran an additional maybe about 12 feet of cable out the end of it. And so what that'll do is hook up to the same circuit the welding lights used to be hooked up to, and then I'll have a free cable that I can run to the welding bench. I haven't put this in conduit because I'm not necessarily committed to keeping the welding bench here, so I'm keeping my options open in case I want to change it up later. Alright, so got the top on. You see that? So you can see the fan in there. So it's an inline fan. It's actually supposed to be a booster fan, which I kind of already discussed. And then, so I've got lights mounted below. And they will provide me a pretty well lit work area when I'm welding. And then additionally up here, so I've got two junction boxes for each light switch. So the one light controls the lights, okay, and then the other light switch controls this power to this power outlet, because the inline fan uses standard 120 plug. So by flipping that on, you can turn the fan on and off. So when it's not acting as a booster fan, the fan should pull about 160 cubic feet per minute, which, you know, should create a decent amount of ventilation. And then we'll see. If I need to get more ventilation, I'll probably just get another booster fan and put it in line with it. And you know, that'll probably boost me up to about 300 cubic feet per minute, which should definitely be enough if 160 is not. But what I'll do too is I've got some dryer vent tubing that I'm gonna run off of here, and then it'll come down here and ventilate outside the garage. So I'll lift the garage up by a few inches every time I weld, and I'll vent this thing outside. So I'm not willing to commit to putting a hole in the side of the shop just yet to do the ventilation, because I may want to move this workbench somewhere else in the future. But yeah, looks pretty nice. So I still gotta put screws up in the headboard area to secure it, because it's still not secured. It's just gravity holding it in place. And then I also got to put the wood backing on the back of this to protect the insulation. This facing on the insulation is just plastic, so slag and everything else from welding will probably melt that pretty easily. So I'm going to put a wood backing on that, which should prevent anything bad happening to the insulation. Not bad though. Alright, so this is the finished welding bench. So I've got this mounted up here now, the overhang, and so I've got two welding lights mounted here. They're on a light switch, so you can turn those on and actually see what you're working on through the welding hood. And then there's also an inline fan here with the 6-inch duct, so I can turn that on with that switch. And so what that'll do is it'll draw up any smoke or vapors or anything from flux core, welding wire, or it'll also provide some ventilation for like argon gas and that kind of stuff once I get one of those tanks hooked up. So that's all fed from the 120 volt power from the shop, and it's hardwired in there right now. Maybe I'll run some conduit eventually, but I'm not willing to commit to that just yet because I might move this table in the future. So the welder is meant to sit down here, and what I'll probably end up doing is putting some sort of cover over here so that way you don't get slag on the top of the welder and make it look gross. So that'll probably be a future addition. But you know, you get the welding nozzle coming off the front, and then the grounding clip is on the back, and some of the other little fixtures you need. And then for the ventilation, it's all run to through a dryer vent, and then this little guy will go underneath the garage door. I'll lift that up about 10 inches or so and slide that under there and close it down so it'll vent outside. And again, in the future I might pipe it directly outside through the wall, but I'm not really willing to cut a hole in the side of the shop right now. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. It's I've already welded on it a little bit, and it works just fine. So pretty much what you'd expect. So we'll see. Be a good little addition. But let me know what you think of this welding bench and kind of this project, and maybe what I could have done better. I'm sure there's probably something I could have done better. Let me know in the comments. Make sure you like the video, and if you haven't already, subscribed, and check out some of my other videos. I got a lot of kind of diverse content on this channel, and let me know what you think. Alright, thanks for watching.